Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, happy Thursday ho sa inyong lahat. Welcome mo sa ating program. Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN dito po sa Immigration Corner. Good evening ho sa ating mga kababayan sa apat na sulok ho ng United Kingdom. At syempre, doon sa mga nanonood ho sa atin sa iba't ibang bahagi ho ng Europa, no? Welcome ho sa ating palatuntunan. Welcome ho. At syempre, kung nasaan mang bahagi ho kayo ng mundo, welcome kabayan dito ho sa Immigration Corner. Na dito lang ho nangyayari dito sa amin sa United Kingdom, sa London. No? From our studios in London, magandang happy Thursday ho sa inyo lahat. Nako, excited na naman ako. Makikita ko na naman yung ating pinakamamahal na abogada. Hindi ho kami nag-uusap no? Sa mga isusuot namin o kung anong... Kasi every week napapansin ho ninyo no? yung mga sinusuot ho namin. Ngayon medyo nag-iba ako. Medyo dahil malamig na ho ngayon. Kaya yung regular polo ko, pinatungan ko na ho ng jumper yata tawag dito sa United Kingdom, no? Jumper. Pero check natin dito sa ating pinakamamahal na abogada, na-miss natin to. Last week yata kasi nagpapakatalino ho to. Meron mga pagkakaalam ko, hindi ko alam kung doctorate in law. Basta meron siyang ginawa, no? Meron siyang mga pag-aaral, examinations yata nagawa. Kukwento niyo ho sa atin. Siyempre, ang pinakamamahal nating lahat, ang ating eksperto ho, no? Well, ito ho yung beauty. Ako yung beast, no? The beauty and the beast. Every Thursday night. Ladies and gentlemen, no? Yung ating managing partner ng Douglas Simon Solicitors, walang iba kundi si Attorney LIRA SIMON-CABATBAT. Attorney, welcome once again and hello, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday, Sonny. Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Talaga, it's I missed you last week, ano? I'm so sorry, mga kababayan, no? It's kasalanan ko. Tama ka. I had a course on. Actually, about four Thursdays ago, I had the first course. So it's a course nga. Mm-hmm. I had to take two online tests as pursuant to this course. Ang problema nga lang, you can only take it at you only have a certain window. And ang bagal ko so I never get to do it during the day. And so I had to choose the evening window, unfortunately. So, and that was right in the middle of yung immigration corner nga natin. So I'm so sorry po. Last week, my fault entirely. I was not able to attend. But I tell you, I missed you all. No? Sonny. Tingnan mo, black and white tayo.
Oo nga, ito pala. Naka-white. I decided to wear something on top, syempre, di ba? Ako, nakikita mo ako, always in polo, no? And so we were the perfect combination. The last time out, we were yung poppy, celebration of the poppy something, di ba? Oo, di ba?
Yeah.
Hindi tayo nag-uusap, but something is... bahala na sila, no? They're the ones who are actually putting some also parang... pinapansin tayo. They make it not really an issue but a talking point or a greeting point, diba, sa ating show, no? So, welcome. How was it? So, studies, ganyan, no? Course. Is that gonna be ongoing?
Yeah.
Let's see, year in, year out, ganun ba? Is it like lawyers in Spain? Because I met a couple of Filipino lawyers and they say they have this, I don't know, they're taking up courses to probably, I don't know, parang yung mga update siguro sa kanilang profession, yung sa immigration din, tsaka labor law sa Spain. Ganun ba ang ginagawa mo, attorney?
Yeah, that was the last one. So I had to do two tests. So the course goes on, tapos you have to do 2 tests, and that was the last Thursday nga was the last one. Unfortunately, it always fell on the Thursday, which was I thought I could do it, as I said earlier nga. But no, that was it. So hopefully ngayon na going forward, I don't have any Thursday, not the test anyway. But yeah, ang lamig, ano? You know, I've been this week, the only thing I've been doing, paperwork, okay, a court paperwork, and otherwise nasa loob ako ng kwarto ko, no? Ewan ko sa'yo, hindi ako lumalabas because I'm so cold.
Really? Oh, okay. Ako nga, habang doing the show, meron akong electric heater din sa tabi ko, just to neutralize the cold. Ang lamig nga talaga, no? I don't know what the weather is today, pero I was texting to my friends sa Facebook, no? Sa Pilipinas, 2 degrees nung nakaraan, tapos to a low of 0 degree. Imagine mo yun, talagang malamig, no? So,
yeah, maybe we'll get snow, no? Maybe tingnan natin, hopefully nga. I mean, I don't mind the cold, yung nga lang pagka nasa labas ka, no, it's you just have to be a bit more careful nga, if there's snow, then or ice, but otherwise it's quite fun, no, kung malamig nga, especially if there's snow. I hope so. We haven't had snow for a long time. I can't remember when we last had snow. Not last year. May snow ba tayo last year?
I don't know, pero when I was in Spain, akala ko may snow dito nung nakaraan, no? Hindi ko nag-snow ba rin sa London last time? Hindi.
I don't think so. But
you don't think,
last Christmas,
okay.
I don't think so, no. But last year was a bit of a blur. Dahil nga, of course, we were locked down, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
so I don't know whether we're going to have lockdown this Christmas. Hopefully not. No, nakakatakot. At saka it's a bit sad if there's lockdown. Hopefully not. No?
Sana wag, just like what's happening in Austria and the Netherlands, di ba? And even Germany yata, di ba? Parang may mga nagrarally, may mga strikers, demonstrators, no? So, I hope wag mangyari sa atin, no? So, yeah. Okay, well, at least, no? Would like to let everybody know kung may mga questions ho kayo, because I think we have some questions coming in tonight. So, ayan, ready ho tayo for tonight, no? In the meantime, we'll make way for our pagbatis, no? Yung mga greetings ho natin ngayon. Wala ho kami, hindi kami live last week. We did a replay. But tonight, baka nagtataka kayo, baka replay na naman. Hindi ho. This is live. Live ho ito ngayon. Magkasama ho kami ni attorney, di ba? Okay. Ayan, so ito, first greeting, hulaan mo muna kung sino una daw. We play a little game dito sa program. Sino ang sa palagay mo, di ba? Just a little game that we play. Sino?
Okay,
Who do you think?
Sinong babate?
Unang babati sa atin.
I think it's Oliver, no? It's also, of course, Thanksgiving, huh?
Yes. Thanksgiving stays ngayon. Yes, happy Thanksgiving
I would say
to
Oliver.
our viewers from the United States, now the U.S. And the day after is the Black Friday thing, and it's a big thing, big, huge sale all over the U.S. and that has come ashore here in the UK and in the whole of Europe, no? Because I guess they also have mga Black Fridays in Spain. They also have Halloween, where before walang ganon yung mga trick or treat, no? I was surprised, attorney. I was having lunch in mga restaurant, may lumalapit ng mga bata, Spanish they couldn't speak English. They say, trick or treat. Trick or treat. Naka-costume sila, naka-costume, naka-costume talaga. Yeah.
Talaga.
So, happy Thanksgiving, as you said, no? Happy Thanksgiving. Okay, Oliver Fernandez, yung hula dahil American Day today. Thanksgiving sa Amerika. So, let's see. Roll yung ating fanfare. Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Dua.
Tama ka
may picture.
sa mail. Tama ka sa mail in a way. Partly correct. Pero bibihira to, ha. It's one of those very rare. Oy, teka muna. I'd like to remind everybody that you can watch us also on YouTube. No? YouTube tayo, Facebook and YouTube. Sige. Okay. Ayan, unang-una. Attorney, sige, pakibasa.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to also have a closer look at the picture nga, panibagong picture niya. So, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Lalong-lalo na
Buti nababasa mo, parang naka-overlay yung ano.
elegant.
Naka-overlay yung logo
A
natin.
little
Sige,
bit.
patataas lang natin kay, kay Direk.
Yeah.
Oo. Sige,
Also,
go
a
ahead.
little bit naman napaka-elegant and very adorable. Oh, I love this man, Attorney Lira C. And always romantico, simpatico, and legendary pa. Sonny Laragan. And talented Direk Paula. Dagdag kaalaman day. I love that. Happy Thursday sa mga barkada ko na nanonood na. Mr. Duay,
Yes.
I want to see that picture a bit bigger. So he looks really smart. He looks very dashing, ha? Yun nga. Yeah. Siyang una.
Yeah, siya una, yeah. Okay, ayan. I'm switching on and off my microphone because I'm trying giving instructions to our director. Okay, sana. Okay, sino una? Nako, congratulations sa Edgar. Although wala pa tayong papremyo, pero who knows, no? Meron tayong soon, no? Okay, siya, okay, susunod, hula mo.
Okay, I'm still going for Mr. For Oliver, no?
Oliver.
Pa rin.
Okay.
Okay, pa rin.
Okay.
So, me.
Okay, pero nasa ang ating next is nasa Europe na naman eh. Babae. Oh, not the UK but in Europe. Oo. Pero dati siyang taga UK. Now based in sige, direct sino second natin? Ayan ang gusto ko yung fanfare na yan eh.
Darmin Balarin yun. Hello po sa lahat. Hi, Darmin.
Hello. Based in Belgium. Hindi ko alam kung Brussels si Darmin. Darmin, Brussels ka ba? Hindi ko matandaan kung kailan taga saan si Darmin, no? And of course, Darmin, good evening. Hi po sa lahat, sabi niya, no? At ang susunod natin ay walang iba kundi si ayan. Sige. Ito si ayan na. Ayan, ating third placer for tonight. Si Ma'am Cora. Good evening, Ma'am Cora. Ayan, oo.
Kinakamusta niya si Edgar, no?
Nagbabatian sila. Medyo pinasabihan kagad siya ni Edgar na Ma'am Carsola. Ayan, pinatawagan na yata, no? Ayun. Ayan. Kasi nauna siya. Ayan, no? Sino yan? Ray, sino yan? Something first time, ha?
Ray, yes.
Ray Resayes. Ray Resayes.
Yeah.
ZPS Zhao. Attorney sabi niya?
Yeah, tama ka. So, ang bilis ng kamay nila, Edgar Duay, and Oliver Valedictorian talaga, and salutatorian. I've not heard that word for ages, no? Of course, it's Filipino thing, no?
Sa Pilipinas lang yan, valedictorian, tsaka salutatorian, no? Pero wala si Oliver Fernandez, hindi siya first or second ngayon, no? It's Edgar Duay. But of course, consistently, si Oliver has always been, di ba? Yung ating consistent dati previously na he makes it a point to watch us. Baka kasi Thanksgiving Day, di ba? Baka there's a family thing happening, or he might be out for something, groceries or whatever. Diba? No? So, turkey or... Ano ba? Turkey ba? Nagda-turkey ba sila pagka Christmas Day? Pagka Thanksgiving?
I think it's turkey generally, no? Turkey.
Generally, may turkey din. Oo.
Yeah. So yun.
Okay.
Look.
Oy.
Our friends. Yeah, from Northern Ireland, huh?
Northern Ireland, yes.
Yeah. So, the Mr. Libroho. So, can I say magandang gabi po at masayang Huwebes. Blooming and lovely Attorney Lira. Always good-looking guys, Sir Sonny and Sir Edgar, of course, and lovely Direct Paula, and all viewers from Team Libroho.
Team Libroho, mabuhay Team Libroho, no? From Belfast siya, no? I'd love to go there again, no? Gusto ko makapasyal uli sa, no? Uy, may kaibigan talaga pala tayo, si Kit Tupas from Belfast. Yan ang nagda-drive sa akin pag pumupunta ako sa Belfast, eh.
Wow.
Iikot-ikot niya sa Stormont yata, di ba yung parang parliament nila ron, di ba? Stormont. Kaya lang, di kami nakapasok, tinuturo lang eh. Nandun lang kami sa gate, no? Ayan ang Stormont. Okay. Picture sa Stormont. Wow, okay. Alright, so, uy, sino to?
Okay.
Rudy Libro,
si
ha?
May.
May, oh.
Yeah, si May. Yeah,
So
May.
from
May
Belfast, we now go
Tigbaw-Balgas.
to Devon.
Yeah, so
Sige.
good evening po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Happy Thursday po sa lahat. Watching from Exeter, Devon. God bless everyone. Hi, May.
May,
Malamig ba
mabuhay,
dyan?
ha?
Siguro, no?
Mabuhay. Malamig dyan sa, siguro, sa Devon. Oo, mapasyal nga yan si May, no? Okay, right. Do we have somebody next pa? Or yan na muna for the time being. Ano bang natin direct? Okay. Ayan, okay. So, yeah. All right. So, thank you very much. Oh, yung mga later messages, okay na. Okay, tonight, hindi natin nabanggit yung ating topic for tonight. Ano nga pala topic natin for tonight, attorney? Para mai-ano lang natin sa kanila.
Yung nga, ito po, tax and immigration refusal. This is quite actually a relatively new issue, no?
Okay.
It's something that infrequently nakikita ko. So basically, and of course, tax, no? So what would happen nga if you say declare the wrong tax, no? Or indeed don't declare tax at all, no? And how is that going to affect your immigration application? So it's quite a big topic actually. And we'll be looking at a case called it's called Khan, no, against the Secretary of State. So it's dealing specifically with dishonesty on tax returns. Ano bang nangyari, no? So it's quite a big topic and quite a increasingly important topic. Probably because the government's trying to get money from wherever it can get, really, no? So it's an important topic. So kung meron kayong work-based, well, actually any kind of extension nga, even if you're making an application for indefinite leave to remain, stay tuned because this is quite important.
Wow, yan. So malaking bagay yan, no? Medyo pagka you run afoul, ganun ba? Pag medyo may konting problema ka sa taxes mo, you might get refused. Is that the gist of what you're going to be saying? Okay, naman, napaka-importante yan. Kailangan ayos ba yung pagbabayad nyo ng taxes? Hindi kayo nagbabayad ng taxes? Delikado. Baka masilip yan. Okay, so we're gonna have a short break and when we come back, yun na ho, tatalakayin na ho ni attorney yung ating topic, tax and immigration refusal, no? Sabi dito sa ating dagdag kaalaman on a Thursday night. So, wag ho kayong alis, no? Kami po ay magbabalik makaraan ng ilang paalala. Saglit po lamang.
Mula noon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
%100% all natural, tasty, healthy, versatile, 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, Tayo po ay nagbabalik sa ating palatuntunang Immigration Corner on a Happy Thursday. Ako po si Sonny Laragan, no? Dito po sa ating lingguhang programa. At syempre, kasama natin once again yung ating pinakamamahal, no? At Lady in Black, no? Ako'y Lady in... Lady... Man in White, di ba? Mayroong Men in Black, no? Na movie. Pero ako, Man in White, I don't know kung anong kulay ito, kung cream, no? Pero syempre, yung ating dignified, no? Dahil dignified yung black or dark, blue, no? Dahil sa kanyang profession, dahil abogada eh. Mga kaibigan, syempre, si Attorney LIRA SIMON-CABATBAT. Good evening. Happy Thursday once again, Attorney.
Happy Thursday po ulit. It's good to be back, no? Happy cold Thursday.
Oh,
Ang lamig nga ngayon, no?
Indeed. Well, there were a couple of occasions na di ba? When I was in Spain, nag-iisa ka nag-show, di ba? So I hope you missed me because I missed you. And then wala kang so if I do the show and I don't know what to talk about because I'm not hindi naman yung essence ng program natin is you as an immigration specialist, no? And giving out information and answers to questions. So I wouldn't be able to do it. Ikaw,
ikaw
of course,
naman.
ikaw yan, syempre, di ba?
No,
Okay.
no, you are talaga don't ever take holidays. No, I always say this pagka wala ka, no. Talaga, it's a hard thing to do. But on top of that, really, I truly miss you. No, it's so nice to be back. It's nice. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I know. I always say it. It's so nice not to be back. It truly is para sa akin. I don't know about anyone else. Para sa akin, it is definitely a happy Thursday.
Hey, it's a happy Thursday because we get to see each other and parang, di ba, we get to miss each other for the whole week, no? And then we catch up on a Thursday, di ba? And by catching up, we are in the presence of our social bubble, virtual bubble, no? Family, no? Na nandyan na magpahanggang ngayon. Actually, this thing will go on for quite a while, no? Dahil may panawagan tayo, yung mga winter vaccines nyo. If you're called for your winter vaccines, it's another booster job, no? Go for it. Plus yung flu jabs natin on top of that. So we have two vaccines that are important kung qualified ho kayo. One is the flu jab, the regular one, which is given during winter time, and there's the booster job, no? I don't know, Attorney, meron ka ba booster job? Wala ako. Yung aking partner meron eh. Meron ka na ba booster job?
In December, meron na akong finally, no?
May schedule ka?
I was able to. May schedule na ako, oo. Yeah.
This is booster job, not the flu job, booster.
Booster po, booster.
Ang galing mo,
so they finally allow me.
Sino kaya tatawag sa akin? Kung pwede ko tawagan, NHS, bigyan niyo na ako ng booster job because I'd like to be protected. Diba? I don't want to get sick. I know some people kind of close to me who have passed away because of COVID, no? So ayoko mangyari yan. Okay. Attorney, siguro ito na, italakayin natin, no? Ready na ho kayo, mga kaibigan?
Okay.
Ako ready na, meron akong pen and paper, no? Ayan, yung aking clipboard, ayan. So, we're gonna be talking about tax and immigration for tonight. Di-discuss ni Attorney. So, Attorney, take it away.
Okay. So, ito pong topic natin nga ngayon. So, tax and immigration refusals, or actually immigration applications. Itong topic na to, I mean, certainly it's become more a problem, more popular, the issue nga, in the last, I would say, especially in the last 3 years, no? Part of it, I think, nga is probably part of it is just the need for funding, you know, but also the widening, I think, also of kung anong gusto na ang gusto na lang tingnan as part of conduct. So, now, for all applications po, kung ano papasok nyo, kung domestic visa kayo, indefinite application, o kaya under the tier 1, no, or tier 2, so work-based visa, kung ano mapapasok nyo, the first thing not the first thing necessarily, but one big thing the Home Office will always look at is conduct, no? Conduct, character. So, obvious problems would be, so for example, kung meron kayong conviction, no? Or deception. So, for example, if you use different name, o kaya basis ng application, or sham marriages. No, those are quite, I feel like, obvious conduct issues. Now, not so obvious po is tax. No? Now, and the importance of declaring properly, tax nga, was emphasized by a case, a 2018 case, but it's still very much relevant nga ngayon. It's called Khan against the Secretary of State, and it's dealt especially with dishonesty or alleged dishonesty at the time and tax return. So the question therefore is non-payment or indeed false declaration of tax liability a problem? The answer is most definitely. So kung ano mga visa nyo, as I say, domestic visa for example, anything like that to do with tax, pay attention po. The relevant rule, natitingnan nga nila, is within what's called paragraph 3225 of the immigration rules. Now, may lang naman, so bear with me. Let me just read it to you. Now, ang sabi doon, the immigration rules provide discretionary ground for refusal based on, and this is from the Home Office nga, the undesirability of permitting the person concerned to remain in the United Kingdom in the light of his conduct, including convictions, for example, character or associations, or the fact that he represents a threat to national security. And of course, it's very rare that non-payment of tax would amount to threat to national security, but the Home Office have held that it would be a false declaration of tax would amount to conduct that is undesirable. So it can result therefore to a refusal. So tingnan po natin yung kaso. The case of Khan, as I say, against the Secretary of State, and that was a 2018 case, but very still relevant. So ang storya po ito, main applicant, yung tatay o husband nga, it was from India. On the 16th of February 2009, the applicant was granted leave to enter the UK as Tier 1. So work-based visa nga. So as usual, binigay sa visa sa kanya 3 years until the 16th of February 2012. So 2009 until 2012. Now, sinama niya yung pamilya niya dito. And he arrived here with his family, asawa niya, and the 2 children on the 4th of July 2009. Now, 3 years later, a month before the visa is going to expire, so on the 18th of January 2012, he made an application in time for further extension, and again, that was granted nga in 2014. Now, things then started to, in making that application, he made certain tax declarations. Now, later on, in 2016, when he had to apply again, when he was then looking to apply for extension uli ng visa niya, the Home Office found out that what he declared before was actually incorrect, and that he declared to HMRC, the Inland Revenue nga, less income than that he declared to the Home Office. And there was a shortfall of tax payable of about £14,000. So there was quite a big discrepancy. So it wasn't a question of £50 or £500 difference. It was a good few £1,000s nga. Now, in making the wrong declaration nga to the Home Office, when they found out, ang ginawa nila, they refused the application. And the reason they refused the application was this paragraph 322, the one that I've just read out nga, 5 of the immigration rules. So basically, sabi nila, in making a false declaration of tax, he had conducted himself in a way that makes it undesirable for him and indeed his family, to remain in the United Kingdom. So the application was refused, which is those of you who have immigration issues can be can be disastrous, of course. Now, on top of the refusal, the other problem is, of course, ang visa nga niya Tier 1. So there's no to challenge a Tier 1 refusal. There's no right of appeal in the normal way to the first tier tribunal. So he had to make an application for what's called judicial review. which is a more expensive and more complex process nga. Now, on judicial review, fortunately, it was found that the Home Office did not carry out its duties properly in investigating the case. So basically, the judge said, okay, Home Office is one thing to say that you doubt or are concerned about deception on tax and all that, but you should have looked at all the factors. You should have investigated it more. So kung nagdududa nga kayo, then you should maybe made further inquiries with the applicant nga, sought further information, documents, and on the basis of that, then refuse. In not conducting more investigative work, no, the judge then said, because of that, I'm going to quash the decision, and the guy then and his family were then granted leave to remain. But it was a close call, and so the moral of the story is this: no, had the Home Office simply carried out more work, more investigative work, no, and can show nga to the judge that they've done that, they've given the applicant nga sufficient notice, also have invited nga to provide documents in support, and on the basis of the information provided, they refused the application. Had they done all that, then that refusal would have been maintained. No? So it was a close call. Now, what bearing does this have now on, say, mga applicants nga dito? So sabihin natin, spouse visa application or domestic work visa application. Yeah. Now, if the Home Office finds, so sabihin natin, you declare and your payslip show nga that ang income nyo £1,000 per month, sabihin natin, no? But in fact, hindi naman yun totoo, and your income is in fact more than that, or indeed less than that, no? And the declaration is wrong. So if hindi nga magkatugma yung sinasabi sa Home Office and in fact the inland revenue, the tax documents on maybe your payslips nga. If the Home Office find that you have made incorrect declarations, then the next thing they will consider is, was the incorrect declaration, for example, simply a mistake, and they should then invite you to correct that mistake, or was it done with the view to deception? If it's deception nga, then it is likely that they will refuse or could refuse your application under this paragraph 3225. So ibig sabihin, they will refuse your application because you have made effectively a false declaration. So, pagka nagpapasok po kayong application, kung ano man papasok nyo, spouse visa, anything else, siguraduhin nyo, no, that what you're saying is in fact correct. Because sometimes people just make silly mistakes, no? You miss out a digit, or the decimal point is somewhere else. Just be sure that, be careful nga. And actually, the case of Khan and in 2018, basically sabi niya, hindi ko kasalanan. The accountant made a mistake, and the Home Office did not accept that. And to simply say, hindi ko kasalanan, the accountant made a mistake, the court actually said that on its own may not save you, no? Because of course, in making a declaration, you assume, or it is assumed, that tinignan yung mga documents, and that you are authorizing your accountant to make that declaration out to the Inland Revenue. So it is vastly important, no? Don't just submit documents to do with tax without really looking at it. And sometimes you can easily, you can be forgiven, and it's just, especially kung luma na nga, no? Because oftentimes you submit documents, tax documents that were at least a year ago. Bago nyo ipasok, just double check. And also, when the application goes, make sure that what you're declaring as your income is actually correct. Because sometimes people also make mistakes, and it's they're easy mistakes to make the declaring, say, the gross rather than the net, or the net rather than the gross, tax wise. So just pay attention. If kung yung nga lang mali, it's probably unlikely that the Home Office will consider that to be deception. But nevertheless, it's not a problem that you necessarily want, especially if you're making an application out for indefinite leave to remain. So please beware. The Home Office at the moment are paying particular attention to conduct, and certain things that you say, you declare, however innocent nga it is, it could be that it causes you an issue later on. So just be extra careful. And as I say, tax po, you should not assume that they will also make, that they will check and they will assume in your favor, na mali nga lang, and that it's an innocent mistake. It could be that they don't even make contact with you, as was partly actually the case of Khan. That's why they won their case, because the Home Office simply did not carry out enough investigative work. Now, but you don't want that problem. So be careful po. Tax can be an issue. Be attentive. Documents must be correct. Often look at the trilogy, the application form, kung sasabihin nyo doon na income nga, the tax documents anyway, so pay slips nyo, for example, or if you're self-employed, your tax assessment form nga, and of course yung bank statements, So I see this unfortunately relatively regularly, kung ano man na doon sa pay slip, hindi magkatugma ng pumapasok sa bank statement. If you're only getting paid part of your income direct to your bank account because the rest is paid, say, in cash, you have to explain that. Yeah, huwag niyong kalimutan. And also, if you are in fact getting more money, your bank statement showing more money going in rather than say what's being declared. Again, explain that. Is it to do with maybe money to cover disbursements, for example? So kung domestic work visa ka, could it be that you have money as a result of for housekeeping? So that rather than getting, say, £100, you're getting £150, because part of it is to allow also housekeeping or indeed food allowance. So you need to explain it. So please be careful, because I think this is probably going forward one of the things that the Home Office are going to focus on, the issue nga of tax for various reasons, including I do think that they're quite concerned that what's being declared now to the Inland Revenue, to HMRC, is quite different to what's being declared to them. So just take care, as I say, and make sure nga that you make a proper declaration. It does not do you any good to make a different declaration or false declaration ng kita nyo. You should make a proper declaration of your tax position. It is crucial going forward, especially po ng immigration. So beware.
Okay, nako, ayan. Ayan. Okay. So, tax, nako, beware, no? Sa ang gobyerno, attorney, wala namang problema. They can get that information from HMRC, for example, ng Home Office, no? Now, hindi katulad ng mga bank statements. Yeah. Ang bank statements, hindi naman mag-check ang kung tama yung binigay mong dokumento, ng mga bank statements mo, hindi naman check ng gobyerno yan sa mga bangko, no? They wouldn't, would they? Would they? Hindi, di ba?
Well, no, they should not. But you see, it's a trilogy nga of documents, no? So, unang-una, what's your declaration on the application? Tapos yung pangalawa nga, yung payslip mo, o yung tax assessment form mo kung self-employed ka nga. And then, yes, absolutely, yung bank statement nga. Kailangan lahat yung tatlong yon magkakatugma. Because the Home Office can easily check with the Inland Revenue. No? And itong, this issue of Khan, and one of the things that was actually put forward is, what's raised is, the Inland Revenue also didn't take action against him, no? Because they didn't think, for whatever reason, they didn't take action, presumably because they probably believed that it was a mistake, No, it was not by deception. But regardless of that, the Home Office refused the application.
Okay, okay. Kaya ako binanggit yung mga sa statements. Meron akong kilala na mga 2 or 3 Pinoys na because they had parang not enough money in the bank, and they found out that the government, yung sa immigration, Home Office, they don't check the the banks talaga, no? So they were able to have some I think specifically HSBC, no? HSBC bank statements, nakapagpa-print sila, maganda ang pagkakagawa, and then they just, if I can say, falsified in a way, or parang inimbento na lang para lang to make it appear. Although may account talaga sila sa HSBC, but they were able to bloat or parang increase yung kanilang yung mga deposits nila, because they found out na hindi naman masyado yatin chine-check. So in this case, parang naging remiss ang HMRC. Was it the HMRC to check on the or the government or the Home Office to check on the?
It's that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's the Home Office really. Pero
The Home
yung
Office.
sinasabi mo nga kanina, yeah, that's a few notches up actually, because that is absolutely unequivocal deception. No? Ito, if you like, it's a few steps down. That the applicant in this case, he said no, it was a mistake. Even the accountant said, yung accountant nga niya, sorry, we made the mistake. No, and then also made that declaration nga to the Inland Revenue, to the HMRC. No, but regardless of all that, sabi ng Home Office, okay, we think it's deception, so we're going to refuse the application, and they did. No, so. The concern here is it could just be an innocent mistake, no? O hindi nyo nga tinignan maigi yung form, for example. That, if you like, carelessness, no, could lead to a refusal. So this guy didn't even have. It was arguably, no, it was not really. He was not looking to deceive. It was a mistake, no. But despite that, na-refuse nga yung application niya. It must have been so horrendous for him, and his family. That of course, apat sila.
Kaya nga, you're warning our kababayan, kailangan to be careful, no? Just to be careful, because you don't want to go through the same yung problema na ina-experience ni Mr. Khan, no? Dito sa sa tax, merong some of our kababayans are not even paying taxes. Let's say, for example, those who are undocumented, and then how many years yung attorney ko if ever you go that route? 20 years yata. Ilang years yun po pwedeng if you want to go that route? Tama
yeah,
ba?
so
20 years?
there's something called, tama ka. So there's something called the 20-year long residence route. So sabihin natin dumating ka dito, tapos napaso na yung visa mo, wala kang ginawa doon, so then you just go to stay, tapos nandito ka na, say sabihin natin 20 years or plus, so in that case, yeah, you can then seek to make an application, of course, under the 20-year rule. Now, I always say to clients nga, of course, you're not allowed to work if you don't have leave to remain in the UK, and if you work, of course, that is in breach, no? But really, for the Home Office, that's probably not the non-payment of tax, if you've been working, is probably not really their priority. No? Gusto na makita, well, okay, you're making an application under the 20-year rule, do you satisfy that rule? And it does not say anywhere nga as a condition of that rule that you need to have been paying tax, because obviously it's contradictory to the nature nga of the application. But so typically, sabihin natin, domestic visa, as I was saying before, domestic visa ka nga, no? And the employer may say, ayaw ko magbayad ng tax o NI, no, na malaki. So we're going to only declare this, yeah? Hindi naman totoo, no? So you're making a declaration, a false declaration, effectively, to the Inland Revenue, no? And a false declaration actually to the Home Office. So double trouble, no? So if you found out, not only then are you in trouble with the Inland Revenue for not paying enough tax, but you are also in trouble with the Home Office because you made a false declaration. And on that basis, they can refuse nga the application. So, and that kind of scenario, unfortunately, it's not uncommon, no? So, kung meron kayong employer, tapos yun na nga gusto nilang gawin, no, don't agree to it, no? For one thing also, kung mababa nga lang ang income nyo, and therefore to limit, for example, yung NI contribution, that may well affect later on yung state pension nyo, no? Because it's based on that, you know, your NI contribution. So you may find mas mababa ang state pension nyo as a result of the limiting or the limited NI contributions that you've made. So it's really not a good idea po. It's truly not. You must make a full, frank disclosure.
Okay. So wag kang pumayag. No? Pagka nasa work mo, sinabi ng employer mo or prospective employer, if they're gonna be hiring you, na babaan yung no? Yung parang dahil sa threshold ng NI, wag ho kayong pumayag kasi yun nga, tama yung sinasabi ni attorney, yung pension nyo, no? Later on, maapektuhan. No? Baka hindi kayo umabot dun sa tamang So, okay. Well, okay. Attorney, ready ka na ba? Some questions? We have about some questions here?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sige.
Please, yeah.
Ito, maganda to kasi you talk about life stories, no? Mga ganitong mga cases, no? Direct, sige, first question natin, pakilabas lang natin. Attorney, pakibasa lang.
Okay, galing po to kay Samantha Q. Hi, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. Ako po ang isang undocumented for almost 3 years. Pumasok po ako dito as a domestic, pero tumakas po ako dahil inaabuso po ako at hindi ako pinapakain. Okay. Ano po bang maganda kong gawin para makaroon ako ng visa? May nagpakasabi sa akin na mag-apply daw ako ng human trafficking. I need to pay £5,000 and that visa was called discretionary leave to remain at valid daw for 2.5 years. After that, do I need to renew again? Okay. May nagpakasabi din po sa akin na hindi daw ito pwedeng i-renew. I just want to know po ang totoo. Ano pong pinakamagandang kung gawin at yung discretionary leave to remain or na visa po ba pwedeng umuwi sa Pinas ang makabalik dito? Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Wow, Samantha, there are number of points there, no? Okay, let's take it from the top. Dahil marami kang mga tanong. It's quite a complex issue. So I'll start by saying if I don't deal with all the points, or if I deal with the points pero hindi nga lang you want more information, email me, and then I'll with your number, and then I'll give you a call. So una po ito, kung domestic work visa ang pagpasok mo, because of the change in the law, tama, you can't extend a domestic work visa. Hindi na, nagbago po yun back in 2012. So the domestic work visa valid po yun for 6 months. Now, there is an exemption to that, and that is if you are you've been subject to human trafficking, so under the anti-slavery provisions. No? Now, if you make that claim and it's found that you probably you've been subjected to human trafficking, then the visa that you would get would usually be for 2 years. During that time, you can continue to work actually as a domestic worker, no? But under that route, no, kung kahit makuha mo, they will not normally extend the 2 years. So basically, the 2 years is just to get you in a better financial position, for example, in order to then be able to return. So under that route, you can't usually extend unless there are other possibilities later on. So kung meron kang relationship, for example, or you've been in the UK for far longer. But otherwise, unang-una, under that, the human trafficking issue 2 years po ang bibigay. Now, separately from that po is this discretionary leave to remain, usually outside the rules. So, kung mating ka dito as a domestic, tapos meron kang mga pamilya dito, or indeed you dumating ka sa domestic pero matagal ka na nga dito, or indeed that even that you're working for someone nga, and for whatever reason that relationship it goes beyond the employer-employee relationship, may sakit siya, you need to be here to look after them. So it's a possibility, no, that an application can be made outside the normal rules. Yung nga tawag doon, leave to remain outside the rules. And that is this thing that's 2.5 years. So, kung makuha mo nga yun, ang visang bibigay sa'yo 2.5 years. Under that, by contrast to the human trafficking issue, under the leave to remain outside the normal rules, that is extendable, no, if you get the 2.5 years. But it's very hard to get that, yeah. They don't just mean na, so kung dumating ka dito sa domestic, yung sabi mo nga dyan, 3 years ka pa nga lang dito and you don't have anything else, then under that route, the leave to remain outside the normal rules, discretionary, it is unlikely that they will give you actually a visa. But if you're lucky enough, you get that visa, it will be for 2.5 years. During that time, kung gusto mo umuwi sa atin, hindi problema, makabalik nga dito, no? And on that basis, you need to be able to show, so before it finishes, you need to extend it. And again, on that basis, potentially you can make an application for indefinite leave to remain once you've completed 10 years, no? So it's so the last bit to your question, pwede ka bang umuwi sa Pinas, makabalik nga dito? If that's the visa you get, or indeed even in relation to the anti-slavery provisions, yeah, you can go back nga to the Philippines and come back into the United Kingdom. So it's quite your question is a very good one nga, no? But it covers quite a lot of things. So there are possibilities, Samantha, but bago kang payo ko, whatever you do, now, kung hindi ka pa nagpasok ng application, must seek advice, legal advice. Because as soon, of course, as you make an application, then the Home Office, of course, are then aware of you, aware of your circumstances, and it could be that enforcement action then happens if your application is refused. So before doing anything, seek advice.
Okay, ayan, seek advice. At saka, it's possible, sabi mo, no? Posible, pero it's kind of difficult. It's hard to get. No? Because discretionary leave to remain. Ano yung LOTR? Bakit nakasulat ng LOTR?
Yeah, so essentially leave outside the
leave
rules,
outside
no?
the rules. Oh, okay.
Yeah, leave outside the rules. Yeah.
So this is possible. If, for example, if you could show that you were sort of trafficked, ganyan, that could be one of the parang strong points. But when you were saying that it's quite difficult, hard to get, sabi mo, what makes it really hard?
Yeah. They're two separate things, no? So
okay.
If you can show that you were trafficked into the UK, so and so under the anti-slavery provisions, if you can show that, then you would get a visa, or you should get a visa of no less than 2 years nga. Under that route, it's 2 years. You normally can't extend that visa unless there are the things that you can show later on, no? So for example, if you meet someone in the meantime, o kaya matagal ka nga dito. So it's a separate thing. So one possibility is under the anti-slavery provisions nga. Quite distinct from that is an application on a discretionary basis, if you like, no, leave outside the normal rules. Yung the abbreviation that Samantha used, the LOTR. So if that's the case, then more things would be taken into account. So kung dumating ka dito as a domestic, ano bang nangyari? Do you have family in the UK? How long have you been in the United Kingdom nga? No, all other factors can be looked at. And if you get a visa under that route, you can extend that once you've been in the UK 10 years on that basis, then you can make an application nga for indefinite leave to remain, probably. But that type of visa, yun na mas mahirap on the facts that's set out by Samantha. Dahil Samantha has only been in the UK for 3 years. Dumating siya dito as a domestic worker. As a domestic worker, she would have been told, no, at that time, 3 years ago, that you can't extend that type of visa. So there's no, if you like, legitimate expectation to get an extension nga. No? So it's not an easy route to establish. it's not impossible, but it's not an easy route to establish. So before you make nga decision kung magpasok kayo on that basis, just seek advice muna, because it's not it's not an easy route to establish po.
Ayun. Okay, so malinaw, klaro, dalawang points of view yun, dalawang points directions. One is yung traffic, one is who came in as a domestic helper, domestic worker, and with a limited leave to remain yan because a certain number of years, no? Attorney, kunyari, well, gawin na natin, syempre, people would love to stay here. That's the reason why we had, less than 30 people who died from sa Calais, remember? Why is it that people are wanting to come over to the UK? Bakit? Andun din sila eh. Di ba? Dapat ang rule kung nasa ka nakarating sa first, parang, I don't know how if it's the correct term, the first democratic country dahil you're running away from persecution and then you arrive, di ba? And then nagiging choosy ka na. I want to go to the UK. Ando ka na sa Germany, andyan ka na sa France, which are, kumbaga, free nations, di ba? Wala ka ng problema. Kaya lang, why do they still, want to come over? And that's the reason why it's getting to be a very, parang ano ba yung sa mga smugglers, very profitable yan, di ba? But I was watching the show kanina on the telly. They was saying daw na they are thumbprinted eh. So parang hindi sila pwedeng mag-claim ng asylum sa France or sa Germany or wherever, and they feel that mas maluwag kung sa UK sila mapupunta, no? So ayan, yun ang sinasabi nila.
It's difficult really. So
Okay, ang question ko lang, okay, ganito na ito na reality. Yung mga tao nagpapakamatay, they pay 5,000 euros, 3,000 euros, no? Dito, pwede bang, would that be solved? For example, ilang years ba ang first ng domestic worker? 3 years ba? 2 years? 3 years?
Kung domestic visa ang pumapasok nga ngayon na, no, it's only 6 months. No?
6 months.
Domestic work visa. 6 months lang po. Yeah.
Wala
And no
extension.
Wala pong extension.
Okay, akala ko kunyari baka 1 year or 2 years, they will now to engineer their plan by meeting somebody falling in love. Would that falling in love, say with an EU, with a European settlement scheme, cure or help their case to be able to stay more? Would love be pero that's too short a time, no? 6 months, hindi kaya, no? Kaya ba yun?
Well, look, it's love can hit you anytime, diba, Sonny? No. Of course, no. If you meet nga someone and it's a genuine relationship and you want to make an application to potentially vary leave to remain, again, it's not a straightforward route because nga it's not a visa that allows extension or indeed variation. But if you meet someone, nagbago nga ang sitwasyon nyo nga dito, you want them to remain in the United Kingdom to pursue that relationship, no, absolutely, it's something you should look at, however long you've been in the UK. Of course, the longer the relationship is, the more likely that the Home Office would be convinced that it's a genuine relationship. If the relationship has only an ongoing, sabihin natin 3 weeks, no, then more likely they will say, no, come on, no, you're dating really rather than a relationship, diba?
Or 3 months, di pa rin, no? Or even 4 months, no? But it's too quick. It's parang, so now, because the Home Office would not be more or less convinced, baka sabi, nag-date lang 3 weeks lang, or 3 months, or 4 months. What if, would say, for example, it crossed the mind of yung prospective applicant, teka muna, 6 months is not enough, or 3 months, or 4 months. I will overstay. And by overstaying, I'll be quiet, under the radar, and then, so I overstay for about a year or year and a half, and then I surface. But within that 1 year and a half, I was able to build love. And can that be, they're overstayed, can that be a remedy eventually? Pwede rin ba yan?
Well, it's never a good idea to overstay. So if there are, if you can make an application whilst your leave to remain is outstanding, you should absolutely do that. But it is reality, tama ka, no? that it happens, no? So for various reasons. You should not overstay just because you want to add, if you like, no, to the possibility, to add to the evidence of genuineness nga of your relationship, no? Because for one thing, the relationship may end, no? Hindi natin nga alam, no? Just because you have a good relationship now, it doesn't mean that it will continue to exist a year from now, no? It happens. So it's never a good idea, to look at the immigration first, and then on that basis, no, decide on relationships. But okay, I am a romantic at heart, Sonny. So I take the view that love is love, no? And when you sabihin na kung ano man status mo, sabihin na wala ka ng status nga dito, you meet someone and you cannot bear the idea, no, of being separated from them, and they feel likewise, then you're very lucky. If that's the case, then you should absolutely look at fixing your immigration, potentially on the basis of that relationship, no? And in that case, one route would be to see about an in-country application, absolutely, or even an out-country application. So uwi ka nga sa atin kung Pilipino ka, and then you come back into the UK, say as a spouse, no? Or on another basis, maybe even potentially a fiance. But before again you make that decision, no? Again, be careful, because even if yung asawa nyo o kaya partner nyo wants to go to, say, the Philippines to be with you, again, just be careful. Firstly, hindi nga siguradong they will likely need a visa sa atin, no? And then in any event, would you then satisfy all the requirements to come back into the United Kingdom kung yun ang plano? So again, it's not a decision you should, I would say, make without legal advice. So there, you have to be also practical nga.
At kausapin nyo si Attorney Lira, no? Pagka ganyan, no? Meron kayong mga, ano tawag dito, mga, yeah, if you want me to be properly advised, no? Also, warning ko lang, siyempre, baka iba dyan because they think that's the, either the last resort or the best strategy to stay here, mag-asawa. Baka take advantage din ho kayo, baka kwartahan lang din kayo ng lalaki or babae as the case may be, no? So ingat din. Okay, may question tayo. May question ba tayo? Ito, may question dito from our viewer right now, no? Sige, attorney.
Okay, galing kay Naling de la Vega, Calumba. So, good evening po, attorney. Magtatanong lang po ako, kasi ako nabigyan ng work permit at nabigyan ng work permit. No, kasi ako nabigyan ng work permit.
Ng work permitted?
Ng work permitted. Work permit? Ng work permitted. So, the visa says work permitted. At hinihintay ko nga lang ang NI ko. Tanong lang po, magkano kaya ang pwede kong i-declare sa tax na income ko? So, hindi mabigat bayaran if ever man magbabayad ako every month kasi self-employed lang naman ako as a domestic. Okay, thank you.
Nalin, this is... Meron ba?
Yeah. So, it's...
okay.
Yeah. So, ito po.
National insurance. Hindi, kukuha ng national insurance.
Yung NI number niya nga.
NI number, okay.
So, unang-una po, ewan ko kung ang visa mo, so domestic ang trabaho mo, no? Pero hindi domestic work visa ka, I'm assuming. So, you probably got leave to remain potentially outside the normal rules, no? And that would be for 2.5 years, sige sabihin natin, and sabi nga doon, work permitted, or indeed, as a spouse, so nasa likod nga, work permitted. Now, ito po, unang-una, and this was our topic today, so thank you for the question nga, declare what the truth is, no? Nalin. Wag kang magsisinungaling. You must declare the truth because on the very basic level, no, alam ko you're concerned about tax and payment of tax na mabigat nga yun. But if you get if the Home Office find nga na hindi nagsinungaling ka, then the likelihood is they will then refuse your application next time around. So ibig sabihin, not just your livelihood, no, na mawawala nga dito, paalisin ka sa UK. And you won't be able to come back potentially because it's a deception issue. No? So it's just on just putting aside everything else on a very practical level. No, don't lie. Kung ano man makuha mo, do declare that. Get a good accountant because kung self-employed ka, certain things I'm sure can be legitimately deducted. And hopefully then they're also able to advise you on some kind of tax planning, no? But do not be tempted, no, to make false declarations dahil nga you want to save tax, because you're making false declaration po yun, not just to the inland revenue, because that in itself is an offense, but also to the Home Office, and that may then result to refusal and potentially be sent back. No? So sayang nga lang, you probably worked very hard for your visa now. So, huwag mong gagawin yon, Nalin. Tell the truth. No? Get a good accountant, no? And tell the truth. And hopefully the tax is not so much. But whatever tax it is, it's well worth paying. Huwag ka magsinungaling.
Oh, people who are trying to cure or yung kanilang mga stays to remain dito. Siyempre, kung kailangan you have to spend, no? Maaaring gusto niya, worried siya sa babayaran, pero yung mataxes yata or something, di-declare, no? Pero if you have to really put things in order, you really have to spend a bit, no? Get a good accountant, sabi nga ni attorney, no? Ayan. Okay, ito ba meron tayong ito direct, no, ito yung question muna natin, no, kasi we have some questions sa ating sa ating ano pangalan nito, sa ating thread, no. Okay. All right. Sige, pasok na natin to direct. Immigration question natin. Yeah, sige, attorney.
Okay. Ayan. So ito po galing kay Jenny V. Briones. Hello po, Sir Sonny and Attorney Lira. Pwede po bang humingi ng advice? Got my indefinite leave to remain ILR under the EU settlement scheme, But me and my husband decided to get divorced. Ask ko po nga lang, makakapekto ba yung sa ILR ko if ever mag-divorce na kami? European po kasi siya and I have my Philippine passport. Salamat po. No, it should not make any difference, Jenny. So kung indefinite ka na, permanent ka na nga dito, even if it's granted under the EU settlement scheme or under the EU scheme, indefinite means indefinite, no? The only potential problem is kung sabihin ng asawa mo that somehow it was if the Home Office thinks nga that it was not a genuine marriage, for example, or he makes some issues about your immigration. Pero indefinite ka. So regardless nga of divorce. So if that's the way you unfortunately and your husband are going, it's fine. So hindi nila babawiin just because you're getting a divorce. So hopefully that's helpful. Sorry, Sonny, hindi ka namin marinig. So yeah, so hindi pa rin.
Yan, bukas ang microphone ko na sarado ni direct pala. Oo. Okay. And then, yun, that's a parang assurance, magandang pakinggan na tawag dito, na okay naman pala. Basta may ILR ka na, maski divorce na kayo, there's nothing to worry about, no? Dahil nakuha mo once na nakuha mo na may ILR, okay na yun eh. Kaya eventually you get divorced, no? Or mag-remarry ka ulit, walang problema, no? It doesn't affect it. Okay, but of course, there's a second year, the following year, pwede na siya mag-apply ng citizenship, di ba? Tama ba, attorney? O hindi pa? Pwede
yeah.
Na, di ba?
No. So the general rule for naturalization leading to British citizenship and of course British passport is you need to be able to show that you've been in the United Kingdom with leave to remain, no less than 5 years. Nga, the last 12 months must be indefinite. So yeah, it could be na you're also entitled to do that. No, yung nga lang, as I say, it's indefinite means indefinite. The only concerns would be if there are issues nga going back to deception. No, yung pinag-usapan nga natin kanina. So if the Home Office thinks that somehow the relationship was a sham relationship, then that definitely they can rescind indefinite leave to remain. Heck, they can even rescind British citizenship.
Pwede ba yan, attorney? Parang vengeful yung babae o lalaki, as the case may be. Magpa-prosper yung gano'n. Kunyari, ano pangalan ng natin ngayon? Kanina? Ano pangalan ng girl na yun? Si Briones, no? Miss Briones. Kunyari, ako yung European. Tapos, siyempre, parang gusto ko nang i-damage din siya, guluhin. And I'll just sabihin ko lang sa home office na merong sham yung namin, she just paid me or something like that. Pwedeng gawin yun, attorney?
Yeah, well, it can
Makaka-apekto yun, it will
happen.
damage then they can get back yung whatever, kung yung ILR, ganun, pwede ba yun?
Yeah, I mean, it can happen, but it's rare that happens. Unang-una po, ito, kung sabihin nung asawa nyo, I mean, it's genuine relationship, yung nga lang gusto kayong, they want to punish you for maybe leaving them, huh? I mean, for one thing, to say that they entered into a sham marriage with you, okay, means inaamin nga din nila. And that in itself may get them into trouble, no? So, it would be utter madness to say that they were in a sham relationship now with you just to get back at the other person. But okay, you never know. Some people do. Now, if they do, the Home Office should give you a chance to deal with the allegation nga. No? And so they don't often, unfortunately, provide you with a copy of the allegation, the letter, for example, but you should request a copy of that, the offending letter, if you like, and deal with it. So it could be that mapapakita nyo naman talaga nagsasama nga kayo, meron kayong mga pictures, meron kayong mga kaibigan, and then maybe later on when things went badly wrong, that you were being threatened nga with exactly that, or it could even be that you had to get the police involved because of their conduct nga towards you, or indeed applied to the court for an injunction. No? So you should be provided with the possibility of challenging before they take back, if you like, the indefinite leave to remain. And it's also rare, that they do that. Yeah. So and hopefully it's not something that happens to you, Ms. Briones. But yeah, so it's if the relationship was genuine, no issues there at all. Sabihin natin, yung nga lang, you've decided to part company. It happens. It happens even with the best intentions. The fact that you now are going to divorce, kung indefinite ka na, it should still be fine. So wag kang mag-alala. Gaano? So,
okay.
So it's,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm here. Okay. Can you hear me, attorney?
Yeah.
Okay. Hindi mai-flash ni Direk kasi napakahaba nung sinare ni Edgar na question, but I'll try to read it, no? Sige, Direk, pakilakihan lang. Ayan. Hello po, I have a question. I'm applying for a skilled worker visa sponsored by my future employer, and I'm an accountant by profession. One of the requirements of the said type of visa is English proficiency. As per my understanding, there's an option not to take any English tests like IELTS. One of the options is the English proficiency that will be checked by an agency is going to call ECTIS, ECCTIS. For this service, they can only assess qualifications that are comparable to a bachelor's degree in the UK and were taught solely in English. They will compare my university or higher education degree to the standard of bachelor's degree in the UK. This is the academic qualification level statement, or AQUALS. And if my degree was not studied in a majority English-speaking country, they will also confirm the level of my English language proficiency based on my qualification and according to the Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, or CEFR. This is the English Language Proficiency Statement. Paki-click ngayon, direct, makalalabas pa yung kadugtong pa yan. Yan. Language Proficiency, sandali ayan, this is the language English Proficiency, ELPS. Ang dami naman, ELPS, CEFR, ACWALS, ang dami. If not qualified or comparable to UK, I think I have to take English tests like IELTS, etc. Just wondering if my diploma, final certificate, transcript, and medium of instruction letter are sufficient to fulfill requirements, as we normally have English subjects from grade school to college, and our second language is English. Hence, no need for me to take English test. Thank you for your time. Edmundo Kaingay Abiertas. Pero hindi, pati mga nurses,
okay.
they take up exams. They graduated elementary, high school, nursing degree, English, but they still have to take the IELTS. No? Pero ikaw, attorney, sige, naintindihan mo, mahaba nun, parang
No.
with all of the acronyms, haba?
Yeah, no, it's so what it boils down to is one of the things na gusto na makita, if you're coming to work in the UK, one of the things that you need to establish nga is your proficiency in English, no? And that is done either because you already qualify, either you're coming from a country that's already English speaking, so US, for example, no, sabihin natin, or that you are you have undertaken a degree that was taught in English. So clearly your English proficiency is more than enough because you already had a degree nga. So there you kailangan yung pakita yung transcript and actually show that your English degree, and it has to be a degree, no, was taught in English. Now, school, so sa atin, for example, galing ka nga sa Pinas, some schools, not all schools, but some schools already, of course, teach in English, no, from really from elementary, but or indeed elementary, high school, and then later on college, nga, no. But even though you can show that, from elementary you've been taught partly in English, that on its own will not usually be enough to satisfy the English requirement as noted under, say, under tier 2, or in this case, of course, it's now the skilled worker route. So that's usually not going to be enough. Now, if you are in doubt, and also just because of timing nga, because of course, kung kailangan mo pakita that you are proficient in English, your degree, if you like, no, your education is enough to satisfy, then you need to get the transcript. You need to get, of course, evidence nga that the course was taught in English, and of course, you need to also provide, your pass mark nga. To be frank, I find that those are it's more of a fuss, no, to get those documents than simply doing the English language, test. Because if you have done English pretty much throughout from elementary, and then later on, pretty much, or a lot of your courses were taught in English, maybe not even fully English, you'll pass it, no? So it's better, frankly, to just get the test done on a practical level. So kung anong gusto nila makita, depends of course on the type of job you're looking also to undertake, and of course, as we know, nurses are required on top, no, to have this IELTS, and the levels very, very high, no. So kung ako ikaw, I wouldn't even fuss too much about, getting this transcript, that transcript, getting evidence nga from your college, your university, that in fact you were taught in English, unless it's very clear that the course was taught in English. So for example, kung dito ka nag-aral, no? O nag-aral ka sa US, then yes, it's not much of a fuss to then get the documents to support. But otherwise, it's just far simpler. Just do the test. Chances are, papasa ka naman eh, no? So
Kung kaya
look
niya.
at practicalities.
Kung kaya niya. Dahil
Yeah,
kasi
I mean,
maraming bumabagsak.
yeah.
Hopefully, kaya niya. Because ang daming mga, yan ang, kumbaga, parang Waterloo ng mga nurses. We should have, yung deployment of nurses to the UK would have been quicker and faster. Problem is, a lot of the nurses are flunking their exams, no? Yung kanilang IELTS. I think they changed it now yata. May ginawa na yata sila. As far as I know, I've had a chat with a former parang head of education, Pinoy, no? Just a Royal Brompton Hospital, who was the team leader in recruiting nurses back home in the Philippines. And I think something has changed in terms of the IELTS for nurses. May nagbago na. Okay, may question tayo. Attorney Frank Rico.
Frank, okay. So pag domestic nang dumating kasama ang amo, talaga bang wala nang chance magkaroon ng papel dito? Frank, the quick answer is kung kadadating nga lang, you can't extend a domestic work visa, unfortunately. So it's probably too harsh to say wala ngang chance because of course hindi natin alam ang situation nga. But it's very, very difficult, Frank, in the normal circumstances. So, yun. So, tama ka.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Okay, teka muna. Direct, meron ba tayo? Ano ba itong nakasalang sa kabila? Yan na ba yan? Okay, sige. Okay. Yan na ba yan? Okay. Sandali. Sige, sandali. Sandali. Baka hindi pa siya prepared. Okay. At ipakita mo muna kami, dalawa lang muna kami direct kung meron ka ayusin at ano. Kami dalawa lang muna ni direct ni ano. Ayan, yung 2-shot namin muna. Yung 2-shot namin. 2-shot. Yan.
Di yun na.
Kaya yun, 2-shot. Kung may ayusin ka pa, no? Kasi baka may naayos pa siya sa background eh. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung may parang itatype pa yata siya. Okay. Okay. Okay na ba to? Okay. Sige. Ito. Pasok na. Yan na ba? Okay na yan? Ready na yan? Okay. Ayan.
Okay. So, Alexa P, itong question po. Magandang gabi po, Attorney Lira and Sir Sonny. May Lithuanian boyfriend po ako dito and under the EU settlement po siya. 1 year pa lang po kami at naka-benefits po siya dati. But now, na-cancel na po yung benefits niya dahil nag-work na po siya ngayon. But hindi po pasok ang sahod niya na 18,600 a year. Gusto po naming magpakasal. Kaso kami po ay natatakot dahil baka mahuli po kami. I'm so worried at litong-lito na kami kung anong gagawin ko. Sana po matulungan niyo kami. Maraming salamat po and God bless, Alexa. Okay, Alexa.
Natatakot mahuli po ako, sabi niya, attorney. Hindi kami, no?
Yeah.
Sila din siguro. Yan.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, ito po, I'm making certain assumptions. So, Alexa, hindi mo sinabi dito, but chances are wala kang ang visa. That's why natatakot ka nga, no? So, kung wala kang visa, so as I understand it, wala kang visa, sabihin natin, paso ng visa mo, overstayer ka na dito. Ang boyfriend mo, galing nga siya sa Lithuania, and he has leave to remain under the EU settlement scheme, no? Now, it could be na he has settled status o pre-settled status. Siguro hindi pa siya matagal dito, so hindi pa siya 5-year plus, then it could be that he has pre-settled status. Now, he was getting benefits but now he's not anymore. Hindi pa nga lang sapat ang pera niya to 18,600. Now, gusto niyong magpakasal. So that's a separate issue. Natatakot nga lang kayo and what do you do? Now, the thing to do, I mean, naintindihan ko, nakakalito nga and understandably nakakalito because there are a number of issues nga sa'yo. So, una po, yung 18,600. So, 18,600. So that's to do nga with the conditions kung if you're making an application, say as a spouse, no? And then separately from that is if you're going to get married. And then again separately from that is kung wala ka ng visa, pwede ba, no? So now let's look at one issue at a time. So una po, kung wala ka ng visa, overstayer ka na nga dito, you're in a relationship with someone who has leave to remain in the United Kingdom, sabihin natin, settled status na nga siya, can you get married in the United Kingdom? Now, kung single siya, you can get married in the UK. Kahit nga wala kang visa. Yung nga lang po, kailangan nyo mag-ingat dahil you will be seen, or you should be seen, by what's called a designated registrar. Designated registrar will basically have an initial assessment nga, no? Does he or she think nga that the relationship is genuine, or are there concerns? And they will also say to you, okay, we need to make contact nga with the Home Office. Of course, then the Home Office will be told, nandito ka, wala kang status nga in the United Kingdom. So you may want to consider getting all your documents ready, making an application, potentially even, or at least being ready to make the application before you seek to get married, no? Because it's a question really of timing. So what you don't want to happen is that you get issues with your immigration and you're not yet ready not to marry. So, but the good news is, if you can get over the issue of designated registrar, genuineness of relationship nga, then it's very likely you will be able to marry in the United Kingdom. But just beware, again, rather than 28 days, it's likely that they will want you to wait a minimum of 70 days after giving notice. Secondly, separately po is yung 18,600. Now, if you're making an application in country, the normal spousal rules you can't rely on, and that is where you have the 18,600. If you're making an in-country application, the 18,600 actually does not apply. It's good to reach it, no, but it doesn't apply as a general, as a rule that you have to be able to take, because it's not actually it's not a spouse application in the normal sense of that application. It's an application on the basis of your relationship, but not a spouse application. So yung 18,600, it could be that it's not actually an issue that you need to be able to show. Separately though from that is, actually it's more difficult than the 18,600, is whether you are, your circumstances are exceptional enough for the Home Office to grant you leave to remain in the UK even though you're an overstayer, no? That is more actually of a problem than the 18,600, no? Now, of course, there's a possibility of you going back, sabihin natin sa Pinas, coming back into the United Kingdom. Pero bago nyo gawin yun, given that there's an issue of income, must seek advice. So it's kind of a mixture of, so there's a possibility, absolutely, to get married in the UK. There's even a possibility of getting leave to remain in the United Kingdom. And the 18,600 may not be an issue even. So there's some positives nga sa kaso mo, Alexa. Pero before you seek to get married, this type of case, I always say, seek legal advice, no? Dahil nga, it's delikado ka eh, wala kang status dito. So it's very important you seek legal advice before taking the next step, which is potentially make an application. But there are some positives to your case, so don't get too depressed about it, but do seek legal advice. I think it's important before you take the potential next step. But no, congratulations, you found someone that you like, you love, and it goes both ways, so great, no? If you want to marry, and you can, also something to look at, you have to be free to marry, So kung kasal ka sa atin, problema yon. You need to get rid of that marriage first.
Ayun.
So yun.
And that would mean also that she goes back home to finish that, or while here, probably have it annulled sa Pilipinas, so that gives her the chance to get married. Okay, so yeah, hopefully nasagot na yung question mo, no? Dami natin mga questions, marami pang but next week na siguro yung mga ibang questions. We suggest you guys, while si attorney nagdi-discuss ng topic for the day, then you pasok nyo na yung mga questions nyo, para nang sa ganun, malaking chance na mabasa within the day. Kasi kung hindi, medyo we'll move it, at least para makapanood din uli kayo for next week, no? Abangan ninyo yung question ninyo. Okay, attorney, mga final mga pagbati and comments siguro lang dito, no? Bago tayo magpaalam, okay, direct, ano ba yung mga messages dyan na nakikita natin kanina? Alright, Aurora, Irie, si Irie yan, si Irie ba yan? Irie, ayan. Oh, bakala, anyway, okay na, naiwanan mo.
Miss
Na, ano mo na?
Kalamba. Thank
Sige,
you.
wag mo na. Thank you po. Oo, nailagay mo na si Irie muna dapat. Pero thank you po sa pagsagot, attorney. At least po may idea na ako kasi bago ko lang natanggap ang work permitted, shortage
Work
OCC asylum ID ko galing home office at sinabihan ako na magbayad na ng tax.
Tax. Tama ka,
Okay,
Nali.
okay.
So, pay your
Alright.
tax.
Pay your tax. Lizzie Hobbs.
Miss
Si Lizzie
Hobbs.
Hobbs. Yeah,
Yeah.
oh. Good evening,
yeah.
sir. Guapo, sunny, and gorgeous Attorney Lira. Wow, kita mo, gorgeous. Happy Thursday. Mabuhay,
Gorgeous.
mga kababayan. Ayan, oh. Okay, sino to? Si Maytig Bao ba to?
Yeah. Si Oliver.
Si Oliver, hindi ko kasi makita yung,
Fernandez.
yung screen ko eh. Kung
So,
sino yung nakalabas. No?
Yeah.
Ayan,
So,
ayan, sige.
so shall we read that? So, somehow,
okay.
Direct Pao was not able to see my initial message. Oh,
Oo
sorry,
nga,
Oliver.
hindi lumabas, no? Oliver, hindi lumabas kagad eh.
Sorry.
Oh, si
Yeah,
Oliver,
it's,
Oliver
Happy
Fernandez.
Thanksgiving, Oliver.
Happy Thanksgiving Day to you, no? Ayan, just sa ano. Good evening, everyone. I'm watching from Lisbon, Portugal. Sanchez Grace, mabuhay.
Wow.
Sanchez Grace, mabuhay. Thank you for
Hi, Grace.
watching and being there, no? And watching us, no? Sige, sino pa ba yan? Si Irie ba yan? Si Irie ba? Binalik. Irie, sino? Irie Legaspi Morris. Yung ganda ng apelido, no? Edgar Duay, based on experience ko lang po, as I am CPA 2, IELTS is the best support and quicker than getting the equivalent, as we were not taught in English completely and our BS degree is not the same level here. Lower pa tayo, and fortunately hope this helps din po. Tingnan natin kung talagang pero mag-practice ka, mag-aral ka. Baka meron mga kumukuha ng courses na IELTS just to make sure, no, na ikaw ay papasa. No, dahil hindi rin biro 'yan, marami bumabagsak, no. I think hindi ko alam kung anong grade, kung pang trabaho ba, university 7, may mga may mga rates ranking yan, 'di ba? May di ba? Okay. Well, it's been a wonderful night, attorney. Marami tayong mga nagtanong, no? Situations about life and love, 'di ba? No, syempre when you feel pagka na okay na ang papel mo rito, para ka gaya ng lagi ko sinasabi, para ka tumama sa lottery, 'di ba? Dahil yung kaba mo, yung takot mo, yung agam-agam mo, yung 'di ba, you want to regularize yung normalize yung buhay mo at regularize bubulol ako sa stay mo rito, 'di ba? So immigration is the key to it, no? Kaya yun nga sinasabi natin. And look at those people who died, and there were 25,000 the successful people who were able to come by boats, no, via sa Kent, via dyan sa English Channel, no, trying to come over to the UK. So ayan, talaga nagpapakamatay silang makarating dito dahil thinking nila, di ba, well, unang-una parang pinakamaganda para sa kanila ang United Kingdom, and a lot of people are really trying to cross the border, no. Andun na sila sa Sangat, sa may Calais, sa kung saan yan, and yet talagang maski mamatay sila, they wanna come to the UK. So ayan, and immigration is the key to it, no. So I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. Attorney, baka may mga naalala ka pa, nakalimutang banggitin pa, no, or would you like to greet anyone siguro, or may special announcements ka? Go right ahead, please.
Okay, so una po ito, if I didn't deal with your question, my apologies, no. I got a bit excited with some of the questions, so natagalan nga. If you want, feel free nga to email it to me. Ito pong email ko, no, kabatbat@douglas-simon.com. And as usual, it's been a pleasure nga to be with you today. Just one shout out, and I don't usually do this, but meron akong pinsan, so I have a cousin in the Philippines, who is there at the moment with her family, and she's her family's her husband's American nga. So shout out, happy Thanksgiving to Cleo, James, and Lucas. No, a warm Thanksgiving nga in the Philippines. I hope you're okay, and I will try and WhatsApp you to just say hello again. Okay, but happy Thanksgiving, and to Oliver, of course. No.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving po. Thanks for joining us, even though it's Thanksgiving, huh?
Pasensya na, sorry Oliver and some other yata na hindi lumabas ang kanilang messages yata according to our director. Kaya hindi kagad niya nakita, no? For some reason, siguro technical or something, no? So, yes, happy Thanksgiving sa inyo, sa mga taga sa Amerika, kaibigan natin si Oliver, no? And all my classmates na nandyan sa may West Coast, no? Mabuhay kayo. And thank you very much sa mga walang sawang nanonood ng ating programa. Thank you very much. And please pass the word around, no? Tell your friends about it. Lalo na yung ating mga kababayan dito sa United Kingdom na meron ho tayong isang programang immigration tungkol sa immigration dito ho, no? And it makes your night parang it's ano ba tawag dito? The best time, best way of whiling away the time, no? Because it's educational, it's fun in a way because we get to greet you guys, no? Sa mga pagbati nyo. And also, of course, the questions na pinopost ninyo diyan sa ating message board. So, sa ngalan ho ni Attorney Lira Simon-CABATBAT, sa ngalan din ho ng ating director, si Paula Perez. Ito po si Sonny Laragan nagsasabing thank you very much sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay. Let's do it again next Thursday. Let's make it another happy Thursday sa Immigration Corner. So till then, it's Sonny here saying thank you, God bless, and good night. Bye!
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay na minsan kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.